You know, this area is known for its fun with Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens just down the road, soon to be Legoland. So how do you know what you're going to get? Well, that's where Pete Trabucco comes in, or Trabucco comes in. He's the author of America's Top Roller Coasters and Amusement Parks. Here you go. You can have the book and hold it up if you like.
There you go, everybody.
Pete, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it.
All right, so you used to be afraid of roller coasters?
Absolutely. I was afraid of roller coasters back in Coney Island. I rode a coaster. Unfortunately, I didn't have a good time on it. 40 years later, my daughter was born. I wanted to overcome that fear. And even though I was a pilot, I was still afraid of the roller coasters. Childhood fear goes a long way. So I went through a whole process, which included writing a book about how to overcome your fear of roller coasters and the top roller coasters in the country. And that's where we are today.
What do you think it was that made you so afraid?
Well, just a lack of control, basically. When you're a kid, you don't know what's going to happen. Closing your eyes is a very bad thing to do. And obviously, not screaming and not breathing. Those are things I talk about in the book that make it easier for people that actually want to ride coasters.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you overcome it? Yeah, I mean, you said, you know, when your daughter was born, but at the same time, what was it? Did you have to go through a therapist? Seriously, some people do, to go overcome their fears.
Well, basically what it boils down to is I was no longer a child anymore, and I was harboring these fears from when I was on Coney Island, 6 years old. Once you overcome that, and I'm a pilot myself, I do aerobatics, and once you overcome the fear, and that's any fear, not just roller coasters, and you take it head on, you can defeat that fear. And once I started to do it, I realized, hey, it's a lot of fun. It's something I want to do, and it's something that was easy to overcome once I was able to do that.
All right, so for people who might be watching at home, what would you say to them are some of the tips that you give to overcome their fears? If it's a roller coaster, maybe it's something else.
Well, know that in the roller coaster industry, these rides are safe. You very rarely hear about incidents, and when you do, it's mostly a rider incident, something they've done wrong. So you know they're safe, and know that in 3.5 minutes you're going to be off the ride, you're going to be exhilarated, you're going to have a great time, and know, of course, breathe, keep the blood up in the upper extremities so you don't get queasy, and always scream. It's the only place you can scream without getting arrested, so why not do that? And keep your eyes open so you don't suffer from vertigo on the ride.
And hold your hands up like this, right?
Absolutely.
All right, tell us, you recently ranked our theme parks among the best in the country. How do you have them stacked?
Well, I tell you, Central Florida's got the best. I mean, over 50 million people come to your parks. That's incredible when it comes to that. And, of course, you've got to put Disney World and Disneyland, obviously, Disneyland and Disney World together. And they are just, no one does it like Disney. They're just absolutely fantastic. They do a great job. And obviously behind that, Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Universal Studios. Got some great rides there. They've done extremely well, and they get a lot of people coming to see them. And also Busch Gardens in Tampa, another fantastic. I like Cedar Point also in Sandusky, Ohio.
Some crazy rides up in there.
17 of the craziest rides. If you're a thrill ride person, you're going to love that. And finally, SeaWorld Orlando. You've got Manta there and a bunch of others. There's just so many great rides. And now with Halloween coming, you've got all these places with fantastic deals for Halloween.
Yeah, and Cedar Point, again, is in between Cleveland and Toledo. Thank you so much.
Right.
But you can show the book again if you want. America's Top Roller Coasters and Amusement Parks. Pete Trabucco, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me on today.